Hi guys, welcome back to Mandy's Corner Pub. Come on in, pull up a stool, relax, and let's get started with Rise Tuesday. This week we're getting back to our interviews with the wonderful, amazing content creators and streamers who so graciously agreed to be a part of Rise. And this week we have Miss WelshHottie. She is one of the small streamers I had mentioned before, and I really think we need to kind of pump up a lot of these smaller content creators and smaller streamers because they are part of this community. They are what makes the wheels turn, so to speak. Welshie is just a wonderful person. She truly is very positive, very upbeat. Just got a heart of gold. You guys will see what I mean. Now, we did have some issues during this video. It was a combination of my internet and the fact that she is across the big pond. And so there's some times where, the video's a little bit laggy or choppy. And I tried my best to clean it up as much as I could, but I know I could have asked her to continually repeat what she said or do the interview over. And actually I had done some of that with Cap, and I learned with Cap, I noticed it seemed to kind of take the wind out of his sails a little bit every time I had to do that. He was incredibly gracious about it. He was a complete pro. But part of the point of these interviews is I really want all of these great people to just be able to roll with what they're feeling in the moment and say what they feel then. So I decided not to ask Welshie to do that, repeat herself quite so much. I just kind of tried to roll with it and tried to clean it up as much as I could. But if you guys can just bear with it and really listen to what this young lady is saying, I honestly think you will be as impressed with her as I am. I really do. So, I hope you guys enjoy, and I will catch you afterwards. Okay, I sent you all the questions in advance, so you've had an opportunity to kind of see what you're in for. And I've already asked you once, but just for everybody that's watching, is there anything that you're uncomfortable answering, or, are you good to go?
Yeah, I'm good to go. I'm totally fine.
All right, excellent. Okay, number one, at what age did you start gaming, and what was the first game you played?
I I wasn't a gamer as a kid. My brother had old Sega Master System and stuff. I never had that. It wasn't until my dad bought me the original NES back when I was 10 for Christmas. That was like about 10 years after it came out. I had two games for it as well. I had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which any retro gamer will know is notoriously difficult to beat. There's very few people in the world that beat that game.
Yep.
I had it, never completed it. And I had Barbie game that I played for all of 5 minutes and then traded with a friend of mine for Dr. Mario. So for quite a few years, I had one game, Dr. Mario.
But you got good at that one, didn't you?
Oh yeah, it got great. It was a Tetris style game where you had to match up the colored pills and stuff. I played that thing all the time. Obviously, I had to play it after my homework because my mother was really strict about that. But yeah, I played it for quite a few years.
Oh man, yeah, I remember. I think my first one was Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
And I remember I would get so mad at those stupid little the little flowers down in the dungeon that would pop up and spit at you. I hated those things. They made me so mad.
Oh, yeah. I played that a couple of times. At someone else's house. My friend had it, and I used to play it when we went round to her house. And yeah, Super Mario was really hard for a little kid to try and beat. It was just, I remember the frustration, wanting to throw controller across the room, and yeah.
Oh, I did, and my daddy was not happy with me on that.
I think my friend did. I think my friend ripped her controller out and threw it out the window, and then she got in trouble for it, and I got sent home. So,
Oh no!
yeah, she was just like, "Forget this game," and just chucked out open bedroom window.
Oh no, that's awful. It sounds like something I would do.
Her dad came walking upstairs like 3 minutes later with controller in his hand, going, "Why was this flying?" it's like controllers can fly now.
Yeah, they grew wings. Didn't you know that?
It's a new feature Nintendo brought out, you know.
Well, this second question, I know the answer already, but most people won't. Why did you start doing streaming?
Well, I wasn't actually going to start streaming. I got into the Twitch community as a viewer. Yeah. We met on Kix's stream.
Yep.
But yeah, me and Dragon at first didn't really intend to start streaming. We were viewers. We got to know people like yourself and other people, and I got to see that some of the community was really supportive, and it was fun, and it was like, you know, I started doing Twitter, tweeting about different streamers and promoting them, and watching all the retweet bots and all this stuff, you know, and I got really into that. And through Dragon started streaming, and through me trying to promote him and promote my friends and everything, when people were like, "Oh, who's a streamer in the channel?" and they'd ask me if I was a streamer, I'd be like, "Well, no, but you know, Dragon is," and all this stuff, and I'd still get followers, you know, and I'd be like, "I'm not a streamer, I'm a promoter," and they're like, "Well, you might stream." One night, I was on Miss Bandito's stream, and I got 50 followers. I got my 50th follower, and I was like, "Oh, I got 50 followers!" And Dragon was like, "Well, now you've got to start streaming." I'm like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah." So I started, and to be honest, streaming for me is just a way to play good games and hang out with good people. And for me, that's all streaming is. I know some people want to make a career out of it, but no, I just want to play games and have fun with people. You know, I'm terrible at games. I make a point of letting people know I can't play games. I die so many times. But we all, no matter how many times I fail at a game, we all just have a laugh about it. Everyone does all rip emojis there. Rip emojis and death counters and stuff like that, and I'm just like, "I'm sorry, guys." So yeah, it's just to have fun.
I remember when Dragon told me you were going to start streaming. It was like, finally, she's going to start. Oh, and for any of you watching who don't know, Dragon is Welshie's other half, and there will be an interview with Dragon coming up soon. So stay tuned for that one. All right.
Yeah, he's my better half. So,
how long have you been streaming now? It hasn't been all that long for you.
No, a couple of months. Mm-hmm. I've been on Twitch for I think about a year now, but I only started streaming just I think it was about March or April. I know I got affiliate really quick because I'd already had my 50 followers and people were coming to watch me, to support me. So yeah, I got it like really quick. But yeah, I think it was about March, April time.
Okay. Alrighty. This one may be a little tricky. I know for me it would be, but what's your favorite movie and why?
Oh, that is a tricky one. There's so many really good movies out there. I don't know. I'd have to say Full Metal Jacket.
Really?
Yeah, Full Metal Jacket. I've seen that film so many times. But yeah, I used to watch old war movies with Dad, and I used to always want to be in the military and stuff, and people would, you'd see like films and things glamorizing being in the military, films like Saving Private Ryan that would make it be like some heroic story and all this stuff, and there weren't a heck of a lot of films that would show the horrors of war.
The
There was like
reality.
there was like Hamburg Hill and Killing Fields and stuff like that. But Full Metal Jacket showed it, and it didn't just show the horrors of war itself. It showed the brutality of just passing through basic training. The scene where Private Pyle has completely lost his mind
Yep.
by the end of it, and ends up shooting his drill sergeant and then kills himself. It's like that has happened. That sort of stuff, the suicide, the murders, that happens because basic training is brutal, and
It's made to
if
break
you
'em.
don't fit in, yeah, and if you don't fit in, you get bullied by your squad mates as well. And so it was just the raw brutality of the whole thing. It held no punches. It literally showed you the whole thing like a slap in the face. And for me, that was just amazing to see a film, especially in that time.
Any kind of cowardice. So I see where you're going with that. I see where you're going with that exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, and you cannot say Rise. You already know this, but favorite book and why?
That one's easy. I've read a lot of good books over the years. But my absolute favorite is The Complete Adventures of Blinky Bill. It's a kid's book. It's an Australian kid's book from a long time ago, and I had it as a baby. And I read that book cover to cover so many times when I started reading. My dad used to read it to me as a little baby, and then I started reading it when I was able to read. He used to take me to the library when I was like really little, before I started school when I was like 3 years old. He'd take me to the library and let me get books home. But this was our book because my mother was raised most of her life in Australia, so we had this book from her. But yeah, it was The Complete Adventures, so it was like a really big, thick paperback book, and it had loads of little short stories. It was basically the adventures of a naughty little koala called Blinky Bill, and the adventures he had in the outback with all these other animals like Mrs. Magpie the teacher, and Nutsy his friend who was another koala, and the wombat and all this stuff. It was amazing. I've always said, because when I was 11 and we moved to the city, the book actually got lost in the move. So I always said, when I have kids, I need to get another copy of this book because I need to read this to my kids when they're babies, because it was just amazing.
Did you ever find another copy of it anywhere?
Chocolate.
Oh, dragon.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's all right. He's apologizing because he knocked my laptop with this piece of chocolate, and he's like, I'm sorry, I knocked it. And I'm like, it's okay. It's in one piece. It
Dragon,
works,
we won't execute you this time.
All right. No, he was apologizing because of the video, he said.
Oh, Lord. Okay, now this one is... internet's freezing up on me again. There it goes. Okay. This one, a lot of people, I already know some of you guys are not going to be able to answer this one because some of you aren't into these things, and that is fine. Anybody that's not into these things, that's part of the fun of these interviews, is to see the differences in everybody. But
yeah,
there it goes. Internet eased up, but Favorite comic book hero and why?
Oh, I used to love collecting comics. I didn't. I still have some of my collection upstairs in bedroom. I didn't used to collect like DC and stuff. I hated things like Spider-Man and Batman. I thought those comics were just too mainstream and I
Mm-hmm.
didn't like them. I used to like collecting a lot of like alternative comics, a lot of Japanese stuff
Oh
and Dark
yeah.
Horse and things like that. So I used to like a lot of those. I used to go looking specifically for them, which was really difficult because all you'd ever see was Spider-Man and Batman and
Yep.
Hulk and all this stuff. And it's like, no, I don't want to read what everyone else is reading. I want to read different things. I think probably my favorite comic was a black and white one from Japan that was translated into English, and it was called Ninja High School.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't have names of any characters in it and stuff because I have not read it for a lot of years. But I used to. That's the biggest collection that I had, and I used to read it a lot. I loved it. I've also got a first edition Street Fighter first episode comic. Found
Oh,
that at a comic.
awesome.
I found that at a comic convention. It was in a plastic thing as well. It was pretty cheap and all. But
Really?
yeah, I was like Street. Yeah, it was like £2.50. I was like, Street Fighter made a comic. I was like, cool. So I got it, but I never ever saw another issue. So I was like, I've just got this one issue, and it's like, okay, I'll keep this. Yeah.
I see. I never knew that was a comic. I'm gonna have to investigate that. I'm gonna have to look see if
Yeah.
they only did like the one issue or if they did a whole series. That would be
Yeah, I've
awesome.
never seen it. Yeah, I never saw it again. But yeah, there was a small comic convention that was in the city. It was like free entry because it was really small, and it was just people swapping comics and selling them and stuff like that. And one person had this one issue of it, and I was like, £2.50 for this. Nice, I'll get it. So yeah,
You got lucky. You got a good deal on that one.
yes.
Oh, there it goes. Internet will freeze up for just a second. So, guys, I'm going to do some editing on this video to try to make it look better. But just kind of bear with us. For one, my internet isn't the best in the world. And for two, Welshie, why don't you tell everybody where you're at right now? Anyway, that's one of the things we should have done got out of the way.
I was born and raised in Wales, but for the past 12 years, I think it was, I've been living in Yorkshire in England in a little tiny village in the middle of nowhere. So yeah.
Sometimes middle of nowhere is a good place to be sometimes. Trust me, some of the
I
neighbors
like
I've
it.
had, I would like to be in the middle of nowhere at times.
It's a nice village. It's pretty big for a village, but it's really nice. And everyone knows each other around here, and you'll walk down the street and people say hi to you, and yeah, it's a pretty nice place. We don't get much trouble around here.
And see, that's a good thing. That is a good thing. Well, what
Yeah.
is your real life occupation?
I actually don't work anymore. I haven't worked for quite a few years because, as you know, but not everybody watching the interview,
Exactly.
I'm severely disabled. I have both MS and fibromyalgia. So yeah, I'm on disability, unfortunately. I haven't worked for probably 6 or 7 years now. So
Well, one of the good things and it's not a good thing that you have those things, but I do have to
mm,
wonder, kind of if you were still working full time, if we ever would have been in Kix's chats at the same time and even met each other. So, sometimes life
yeah,
plays out a certain way for particular reasons. So,
yeah. I like to think that it does. What started as just a short stint on the sick for mental issues turned into me getting disabled and not coming off sick. So it was it was horrible at first, but the way life has turned out now, I kind of think that maybe it happened for a reason.
And you're probably right. You are probably right. Okay. What do your family, friends, all your acquaintances think of your involvement in the gaming community, your streaming? What's their reaction when you tell them about these things?
My family don't know. Pretty much all my friends are on Twitch because I don't really go anywhere or do anything anyway. But yeah, my family, the ones in my family I do talk to, because I don't really talk to my family anymore. But the ones that I do talk to, no, they don't know that I'm a streamer. I actually have a funny story about it though. Um, I had rung my dad earlier on this month, and he wanted my phone number again because he had lost it, so he wanted me to email it to him. And because it was late and I knew it was coming closer time he was going to start getting ready for bed because he's got sleep apnea, so he goes to bed pretty early. I was like, oh no, I need to get this done quick. And I was doing it on my phone. Well, I have two separate email accounts. I have my Gmail, which is my WelshHottie one, and it's just for Twitch and Twitter and things like that. It's my business one.
Yeah.
And I have my personal one, which is my Hotmail, and both are linked to my phone. But me not realizing, I used my Gmail to email my phone numbers to my dad. So a few minutes later, I get a phone call off my dad, and I was like, hello, and he was like, oh, hello, can I speak to a Welsh hottie? And I'm like, oh no. I was like, so yeah, when he said, can I speak to a Welsh hottie, please? I was like, oh no, Dad, that's my Twitch name. And he's like, well, I don't know what that is, but you can change it right now. And I'm like, no, I can't, Dad. I'm a streamer. I can't just change my name. And he's like, well, I don't know what that is. I'm like, Twitch, Dad. It's like YouTube, but it's real live, and people come and talk to you. And if you're affiliate, you can get money off people. And he's like, you lost me after Twitch. And it was like, you can change that name or just don't tell me that you haven't.
Oh my Lord.
I'm like,
girl.
it's okay, Dad. Yeah, I'm like, it's okay, Dad. I'll change it, but I haven't. I just won't tell him. But he was like, I thought someone from a dating agency was messaging me. I'm like, oh, Dad, it's my Twitch name.
Oh, that is priceless. That is priceless. One of these days,
so
when you and Dragon have kids, you've got to tell them that story.
Yeah, I definitely will. That's how my dad found out I was a streamer.
Of all the ways.
Yeah.
That's priceless.
I know.
That is.
It's like I'd have rather sat my dad down and been like, Dad, I've got to tell you something, you know, and done it that way or something like that, or just told him on phone like, hey, Dad, I'm a Twitch streamer. But no, it was my dad getting an email just before he goes to bed from a Welsh hottie. It's like I completely forgot because my Gmail doesn't have my real name on it because it's for Twitch and anonymity. I think that's the word. But yeah, Twitch streamers don't say what their real name is, obviously, because you don't want some weirdo to find out where you live and come and murder you or something. So yeah, my Gmail just has the look on Dragon's face right now.
Now, this next question,
Uh-huh.
I know the answer to this. Well, some of the answer anyway, but what's your favorite thing to do when you're not streaming?
I spend a lot of time on Twitch watching. I pretty much we've always got Twitch on the TV, even if it's in the background, even if we're just lurking. We've always got someone that we're watching to support them somehow. But I do like to write. Still working on my novel, still trying to get it finished. I also like to write parody songs as well. I think it's fun sometimes to write them. I basically do a lot of writing.
And I need to start cracking the whip on you where that's concerned too. Dragon?
Yeah.
You gotta have to start getting on her more. Oh, this next question. This one is something that is a question that definitely, some of the other people I'm going to be asking this question to, their answer is going to be really easy. But for you, because I know you play on PC and console, this question was like made for you. PC or console, and why?
I think both. I don't see there should be this PC master race console scrubs war going on. I don't see the point in it. There's both good and bad points to console and PC. With console, when you get a console game, it's like if you have PS4 and you get a PS4 game, it's going to play because all consoles have the same specs. Every PS4 is the same. Every Xbox One is the same. Yeah. So they can make the games for that console and it plays all the time. But with PC, you get a game and you have to look at all the specs, both minimum and recommended, and you have to know every in and out of your PC to know if it's going to play. Mm-hmm. And so that can be a problem. But then on the side of PC, there's things that are in PC versions of games that won't be in console version because PC, they can do more with it. So you get more from a PC game than you do from a console. So there's good and there's bad points to both PC and console. But I still have to say both. Sometimes I like to play the console. Sometimes I like to play on my PC. I stream on my console because my laptop isn't good enough to stream as well as play games. But when I get Dragon's PC, when he gets a better one, I'll PC stream as well. So yeah, I have to say both. There's really no one way or the other.
I kind of agree. I mean, there's some games like The Last of Us. You can you can't get that for PC. And console has some really great console only games. And so yeah, I have to agree with you on that. And it kind of leads into the next question. Your opinion on the divide between PC and console gamers and how we can fix it.
That's a really complex solution to fix it. It really is. I think the feud is pointless. I don't see a point to it. I've seen how bad both sides can be just from the 7 Days to Die community. When Joel puts out a tweet about, something they're bringing out on the next update, and then you get like a whole load of console players that'll just be like, when's Alpha 15 coming out? We're still on Alpha 14. And it's like, no, you're on Alpha 15 now. And it's like, they'll just be demanding, they'll be swearing for, they'll be effing and blinding a Joel. Then you also get a lot of the PC people that are just like, shut up and get a PC, and they'll start swearing at them, and it's like, what is the point? I'll try and be diplomatic, and I'll say to the console players, look, you have to go talk to Telltale. It's not the fun pimp's responsibility, and I'll try and explain it to them, and I'll say to them, look, I know it's frustrating. I was a console player too. I understand this. I'm one of you guys as well as one of them. But yeah, you still get, you get both sides. It'll still be really toxic towards each other. The thing is, fixing it is not an easy thing to do.
No.
Because this is humanity. This is what we're like. Humans want to be part of the in crowd. It goes back to prehistoric times when if you weren't in the tribe, you were a loner and you had very little chance of surviving. So people in groups were the ones that would survive, that would pass down their genes. The ones that were on their own would most likely die. So this has gone down through the ages. And this console PC master race argument, this is just the latest. But there were arguments before. There was Sega and Nintendo. There was, DVD and VHS. There was, LP and whatever. This has always happened.
Yep.
The only way to fix this and to stop this war, because it is basically a war. It's a society. It's a society war, and the only way to stop it is to change us. There's no other way of fixing it but to change us up in here and in here. And until that happens, we're gonna have this argument all the time, and it'll just move on to the next thing so many years down the line. But we're always going to be fighting because we always want to be part of an in crowd, and we always ostracize the ones that aren't in the in crowd. And that's just the way it is. That's ingrained in our DNA. It's who we are.
Yep, you make good points. And because we are human, nobody's really going to go along with this. But the way I look at it, whether you're on PC or console, we are all part of the same beast. And
we're all gamers.
People in society that look down on gamers hear you're a gamer, they don't care whether you're PC or console. All they hear is gamer and think loser. And when you've got people outside of the community that look at us that way, and then we're fighting amongst each other, it makes it worse. It does. It makes it so much worse. And I'm like you. I don't see how there's ever going to be a solution to it, but maybe by some miracle one day.
For us to change society's views on us as gamers, as a community, we have to stop fighting with each other and work on society the way they see us. That's not going to change unless we put down the controllers and the mice and stop fighting with each other and work together to change how society views us. I don't see an end to that.
Exactly. And that's sad, because there are so many gamers, so many members of our community that are doing really great things for not just people in our community, but for society in general. And society doesn't realize that. All they hear is gamer and they think loser, and that's the end of it.
There's so many games that do good for humanity. You'll have to Dragon in his interview to explain this better, because he was a part of it. But there's this game called EVE Online, and there was this laboratory. I think it might have been in the UK. I'm not 100% sure, but they actually worked with EVE to EVE Online. For those that don't know, is a space exploration and combat and stuff game. You can mine, you can make ships, you can fight, and all this stuff. But this laboratory place, they actually worked with EVE to make mini games for different studies. And there was one for cancer research. And the people that took part in these mini games, they got rewards, in-game rewards, things like special outfits and stuff. But the work they did in these mini games, the data that went back to this website, actually took years of cancer research. another study they were doing was about space, and Dragon was a part of it. Yeah, Dragon just brought it up on the screen. It's a site called Project Discovery, and the last one that Dragon was a part of was they actually had another mini game which they sent satellite signals to you, and you had to try and pinpoint little planets and stuff. What are you trying to? He's pointing at the screen, not saying a word. But yeah, it's Project Discovery, and
Discovery.
Project Discovery was the space one, but they were trying to they were getting people to use the satellite signals and pinpoint these patterns, and they would look at all these patterns that were being sent back, and it would tell you the likelihood of a new planet, and it was basically to try and find new planets that hadn't been discovered yet in space. And people were actually taking part in these studies. Regular people like you and me were taking part in these studies. Yeah, and
awesome.
It's just proof that games can actually benefit society in so many ways, because what is a mini game to a gamer and is a in-game rewards is actually real-time research, and they were doing the job of the scientists, and they were taking years off cancer research, and they were helping to find new plants, and there's just all this great stuff being done through just this one game. But if all these other games joined up and did the same thing, just imagine what good gamers could do for the world.
Yes, and
absolutely.
You're making excellent points. And another thing that people don't realize too, and you're a fan of one of the people I'm about to talk about. Like I said, a lot of people in society hear gamer and think loser, no job. Actually, a lot of gamers are doctors, lawyers, engineers, like JC. They're very intelligent people doing things in the world. I mean,
yeah.
So
some streamers, some streamers actually start streaming to raise money for charity. They start with this whole thing in mind of, I'm going to use this to raise money to help people, and that's kind of an amazing thing. It's like you look at people like Ninja and stuff, and you just see some kid that wants to make a load of money, but not all streamers like that. Some just want to do charity streams and raise money and help the world, and it's like, these people need to be showcased.
Yes, exactly. And Tex Cub, that's the reason he started streaming, was he wanted to raise money for charities, particularly children's charities. So
yeah, he was actually the one I was thinking of when I was saying about that.
Yep. Well, here's one. I couldn't narrow this down, so I'm glad I don't have to answer this question. But your favorite game?
My favorite game. Anyone who knows me will know that my favorite game is 7 Days to Die, and anyone who knows me will know the reason why it's my favorite, and that is, I am dedicated to that game. I play on a potato. I'm not even kidding. My laptop, the graphics card must be a potato chip, you know. And I play this game. I play it on between 2 to 10 frames a second. And Dragon had no idea how bad it was. He heard me like raging about this, you know, about how bad it was. And I was doing a raid on Higashi Tower with some other people, and Dragon wanted a drink, and I was like, okay, well, you take over the raid for a little bit. I'm gonna go make a drink. And he did it. He was at it for like 10 minutes. I walked back in the room. He looked at me and he just shook his head. He was like, how do you do it? And I'm like, because I love the game, and it's either this or don't play it at all. And he was like, you really do love this game. I'm like, yeah, because a lot of the time I'm on 2 frames a second and it's literally like a slideshow. So yeah, 7 Days to Die has been the hardest game for me to actually be able to play, but it's my favorite. It really is.
And see, I feel your pain because my laptop that I was playing it on for a while was, it was bad. It was really bad, but I'd be darned, I was gonna play 7 Days to Die one way or the other. So that's something we've got in common.
Yes. It took me 2 hours to dig a 20 block by 4 block tunnel underground. Literally 2 hours to dig it out. I'm not even kidding. I timed it. It was 2 hours from start to finish. So yeah,
that's dedication. That is dedication to the game. Yes. Fun Pips, you hearing this?
I am dedicated to this game. I live for this game. It's like I've got Joel on my Twitter and I'm retweeting him every time. Even the posts about his like working out and stuff. Even stuff that's not related to 7 Days, I'm retweeting it because it's Joel. I'm watching all of the videos and I'll watch Cap to learn all this stuff that he looks at, and I'll watch JC for build ideas, and I literally live this game. My every waking moment on YouTube is JC or Cap, and I know a lot of people, like a lot of streamers in the 7 Day community, and this game is my life.
And you just mentioned 2 of my favorite people, JC and Cap. I love both of them. Oh, yeah. Lord.
I've learned so much from Cap, to be perfectly honest with you. I learned so much from Cap, about full damage and direction zombie hordes go and all this different stuff. I learned from him. Technical stuff, I learned from Cap. Creative stuff, I learned from JC. And I get a lot of build ideas, and it's like he has the Zombie Research Initiative project on his videos, and as a tribute to that, I've actually got a picture on my Twitter of the first build that my initiative did, but I actually started the Zombie Restoration Initiative project. It's like his organization figures out ways to kill zombies. My organization just wants to make the apocalypse pretty.
Hey, with both of them working together, it can be a better apocalypse now. Come on.
Yes.
Well, what's the hardest game you've played?
Oh, God. There's so many games that are hard for me. With me being disabled, right side of my body doesn't actually work that well. I'm moving my left hand, but my right hand is pretty much... I'm right-handed, so this makes it so much harder. But yeah, most games are very difficult for me to play. I've tried playing Destiny, I've tried playing Warframe, first-person shooters... Forget it. I can't actually do it because my hand can't work the mouse well enough. But yeah, there's a lot of games that are just really hard. I'd say most games. Most games are the hardest games I've ever had to try.
I can understand you there because I have POTS and it's quite a bit different than what you have, but still have some of the same issues from time to time. Like some of my muscles, one day they'll work fine, and the next day they don't want to work at all.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It's from lack of blood flow, making them weak. But I can see what you're saying. Trust me.
Yeah, it's a lot like that because of the MS, it being an autoimmune disease. It's basically my immune system is destroying the nerves in my body, and as people who have done basic biology know, you need your nerves to control your muscles. So if the nerves die, your muscles don't work anymore. And the right side of my body is the biggest affected side. There's sometimes where I will literally just be dragging the right side of my body when I'm trying to walk or something. It's like it's not even my body anymore. It's just this thing that is attached to me, you know. And I've always said I don't play games to be good because I'll never be good. I just play games to have fun.
And
That's all I
sometimes
do.
that's all that counts. You know what? Sometimes it's not
Yeah.
about being good or winning. It's just about enjoying that moment.
Yeah, it's like when I see people on streams and they die and they're raging. I'll just sit there and shake my head and be like, "Why are you raging? When I die, I laugh." Yeah, I was playing. I'm not sure if you saw it, but I was playing the Walking Dead series.
Yep.
And I've been streaming that, and there was this one part. I think it was in season 3. I must have died of this one part about. It must have been a dozen times. I literally kept dying. And I was just like, sorry. Take 2, take 3, take 4. And it got to a point I'm just like, let's start again.
Oh me, I think I know the part you're talking about. Was that when they were deciding whether or not to execute that one woman?
Yeah.
What was her name?
Yeah.
What was her name?
Oh, I can't remember
She was a real
her name.
witch. I remember that. She was a she had it coming. She had it coming.
Yeah. And there was just so many things you had to do afterwards. There were like people shooting at you. You had to move down and across and press X and triangle. And it's like, nah, you pressed the wrong thing.
Well, let me ask you this and be honest here. Why did you agree to be part of Rise?
That's really easy. I believed in it. I believed in the message that was being spread. I believed in what you wanted to do from it. I believed in the good that could be done, and I wanted to be a part of that. I made a lot of mistakes in my life, and I've stuffed up in so many ways, and I wanted to be a part of something good. And when that good got realized by the rest of the world, I wanted to be able to sit back and just be like, I was in that from the ground floor. You know, I helped with that. So that's why I wanted to be in it, just because I believe in it.
Well, a lot of people don't know it, and I don't think you even knew it at first. But Rise kind of came about partially because of you.
Yeah, it was just a conversation, and I just made an offhand comment about about doing a book or a film about the zombie apocalypse, and it was just, I didn't mean for anything to come from it. I didn't realize that you were going to get some idea from it. I was just making a comment.
Well, and that comment kind of stuck with me for weeks, and it was kind of like in the back of my head, and I kept thinking, And then finally it was like, okay, this is nagging at me for a reason. So, well, here we are. Thank you for that, by the way.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
Okay, now this is something that any YouTube content creator, any streamer, anybody in the public eye basically is going to have to deal with. So there's always going to be a negative Nancy in the bunch somewhere. How do you deal with any negativity you encounter during your streams?
Sorry, I had to have a drink then.
Oh, that's fine.
I don't know. I've had to deal with negativity my whole life. I was bullied as a child. I was an abused child. Got mixed up in wrong crowds later on in life, and I'm kind of used to all the negativity, to be perfectly honest with you. And if somebody says something about me like, "Oh, you're fat," well, thanks, I didn't realize. Yeah, thanks for letting me know. Or you're stupid or something like that. It's like, okay, that's great. Thanks for telling me. But yeah, it's literally just don't worry about it. I've always said in my streams, you can call me whatever you want. I really don't care. Just don't go after the viewers.
Yeah.
Anybody else in the channel, if anybody comes into my channel and they start offending or verbally assaulting anybody in my channel, you get banned straight away. If my mods don't ban you, I'll ban you. Because you can say what you want to me. Don't care. I can be a verbal punching bag. Whatever. I'll just smile and say thank you. But if you say anything to my viewers are like my friends. We're hanging out and playing games. If somebody's gonna come in and ruin that, they'll get kicked out.
You try to make it a safe space for people to come where they know they're not gonna be attacked, not gonna be ganged up on, and that's a great thing. That is a great thing.
Yeah, well, I'm different myself. I'm severely disabled. I've got mental problems. I'm pansexual. I'm gender fluid. I'm all this different stuff. So I know what it's like to be different. And I want people to come into my channel and to be accepted and welcome with open arms, not just from me or my mods, but from the other viewers. I want my channel to be a safe place where we're all just friends hanging out, watching another friend fail at game.
I love that attitude.
I don't want that ruined. I don't want that ruined because it's literally a fun time for everyone. We can hang out, we can say what we want, we can shoot the breeze, and have fun. And they can all laugh at me and make jokes about how bad I am at games. And that's fun. It's friends. We're friends. Everyone who comes into my channel is a friend. Yeah. And so I don't want anyone coming in and ruining that. If you're going to come into my channel, leave your negativity at the door because it's a fun place,
I love that about you. That's part of what I love about you. Okay.
Well, for me, streaming is a way to let go. It's a way to have fun. With having mental problems, I'm not the easiest person in the world to live with. Dragon can attest to that. I can be moody. I can have mood swings. I can be stubborn and argumentative. And there's times when I'm not the happy, smiley Welshie that everyone knows.
Well, that's called being human, though. That's not necessarily a thing. That's just being human.
Yeah, I have rants about politics and stuff like that, the state of the world. I can go on long rants and do about stuff. And Dragon's always got to rein me in. He calls me a pit bull for a reason. So I'm not always the happy, smiley Welshie that everyone knows. But when I'm on stream, I'm happy, I'm smiley, I'm having fun, I'm hanging out with friends, and we're having a good time. And Dragon's my main mod, and we're all just chilling. It's a way for me to let go and just not rage, not rant, not worry about the state of the world and what politicians are doing and all this horrible stuff that's going on. It's just a way for me to have fun. So, yeah.
I like that. I do. I like that. And I know this part about you, but other people may not. I know you love kids.
Yes.
And what advice would you give to kids thinking of getting into content creation or streaming? What would be the biggest advice you think you could give them to help them?
Don't put all eggs in one basket. Don't think that because you do well at a game that you're going to be the next big ninja. Ninja had to go for 10 years of
Yep.
hard graft before he got the way he is. People see him now and they're like, I'm gonna be Ninja. No, just for every ninja, there's 100 wannabe ninjas waiting in the background trying to make their big break.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, do your schoolwork, work hard, get some qualifications, get a trade if you have to, get something to fall back on, because there's going to be a year, two, a decade of hard graft, of knockbacks, of empty streams when nobody comes to watch you, of months going by where you get no money from YouTube or Twitch, and you need something to fall back on during those times. So yeah, I know school sucks. Not everyone likes school. School's hard. School is difficult for a reason. But do the school. It's important. Do the school, do the college or vocational training, do something afterwards. Get something under your belt. Then you can focus on streaming and content creating, and you've got all the time in the world. I'm 34, I'll be 35 this year, and I've only just started streaming. There's plenty of streamers that are in their 30s and 40s when they started. Don't think you have to do it when you're in your teens or your 20s. Do something first. Do something with your life. Make your life mean something. Because when all is said and done, you don't know what's around the corner. And I didn't know what's around the corner. I wasted so much of my life. And then on my 29th birthday, I got diagnosed with MS. A year later, I got diagnosed with fibro. And my life fell over. And I looked back at everything in my life and thought, what have I done? I've done nothing. What's going to be on my headstone when I die? What is going to be in my obituary? What are people going to remember me as? A loser that made a load of mistakes? That did drugs and drunk when she was a teenager? Or is she going to remember me for... Are they going to remember me for something better? And that's what you have to think. You don't know what's around the corner. You don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. You could be trying to... No, tomorrow is not guaranteed.
What are you most passionate about?
Oh, jeez. I'm passionate about so many things. I don't know. I'm passionate about so many things. I'm passionate about humanity, basically, in a nutshell. That's
a good
easiest way to explain. Yeah, it's the easiest way for me to explain what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about humanity, and I'm passionate about trying to make humanity better, even just a little bit.
I love that. I love that. That's excellent. And if more people were like that, oh, this world would be such a different place. It really would. Oh, what do you think of the idea of the Plan for the Future charity, and what would you like to see it do?
I love it, to be perfectly honest with you. When you explained it to me, I completely loved it. I fell in love with the charity, and I was like, right, I've got to be a part of this. I've got to get in on the ground floor and help make this the best that it can be. I don't know what I want to see it do. I want to just see it succeed and make people's lives better, even just a little bit. I don't have a set goal for what I want this charity to become. I just want to see it make a difference. I want to see it mean something.
And see, that's exactly the way I look at it too. So I'm glad you see it that way. I am. what do you think
Yeah.
gamers can do to help create a positive change in this world? I mean, people always want to point out the negative. What positive things do you think we can help bring about in this world?
The thing that we do, the thing that I want to see gamers do, is the way I've always tried to live my life, and that is lead by example. What you want to see the world become, what you want to see, what people think of you, lead by example. Be that. You know, if you want people to look at gamers as being good people that do good, be a good person, do good. If you want people to look at gamers as horrible people, then carry on being a horrible person. If you want people to see you in a certain light, you have to be that light. You have to
Yes.
do the things that you want people to see. The change starts with us. We can't expect humanity to just, expect society, we can't expect society to change their view of us if we don't change ourselves, if we don't be that light that we want them to see. It's like it's like a saying that I heard once. Be the change you want to see. You want people to look at you as a good person, then you have to do that. You can't expect people to look at you at some way just because you say, hey, I'm a good person. You've got to show them. So
Exactly.
show them.
Yes, I love that answer. That is the truth. That is the truth in a nutshell. Okay, is there anything before we end, anything you want to add or want people to know about you?
I know there's a pretty big disabled gaming community out there. I know of one on YouTube, Ragtag. Just don't look at people in a certain way. Don't see what's on the outside of a person and assume that you know their character or how good they play a game or what type of person they are. Because what's on the outside isn't necessarily what's on the inside.
Don't
The
judge a
outside,
book
the
by its
body.
cover.
Yeah, basically the body on the outside is just the shell. It's not who you are inside. It's not your soul. The body is a vessel for you to physically do what your heart and your soul wants to do. So don't judge people by that vessel. If you see someone that's really fat, don't judge them for that. Don't assume that there's some lazy slob that eats 50 McDonald's Happy Meals a day. Get to know them, find out why. If you see a disabled person with crutches or a wheelchair, don't assume that they're mentally gone. Get to know them, because they could be a better gamer than you or a better person. Just get to know people instead of judging them by the outside, because I've had that my whole life, and I've been judged wrong my entire life. I've been bullied for being fat. I've been bullied for being a geek. I've been bullied for being a stoner when I was in college. I've had people look at me walk down the street when I was basically when I was a thug, and they looked at me and they judged me by the way I look. But that wasn't me. I was the way I was because of things that happened in my life. I wasn't that person because I changed. I grew up. I became who I was meant to be now.
Yep.
Don't judge people. Get to know them. You might find something that surprises you, and you might find a new best friend.
I think you have a great outlook on so many things. It's part of why I picked you for Rise. It's part of why I adore you. And thank you for sharing this with anybody who stops by to watch this week's Rise Tuesday. And if they stick around and really listen to you, I think they're going to learn a lot. Okay, guys, that was the interview with Miss WelshHottie. I will be including links to her Twitter and her Twitch in the description below. Hoping I'm going to get another interview lined up and squared away before next week's Rise Tuesday. I'll keep you guys updated on that. And I really appreciate you guys stopping by and hanging in there despite the technical issues to really hear Welshie out. By all means, check her out on Twitch. Drop by her Twitter. Tell her hello. You know, we've all got to support each other. We're a community and we need to support each other. You know, even the smaller folks. So, you know, if you're not going to go check out Welshie, go check out another small content creator or streamer. Throw them a little love and support because we all need it. Well, again, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for your support of my channels, for your support of Rise, everything. You guys are so awesome. I really appreciate it. And until next time, I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.